Hey, James.
I feel like we need to whisper.
I don't.
It's so quiet in here.
I feel like I have to whisper too. I lost my voice last night. I was on the phone at
Screaming?
10:30. No, not screaming. You know, just when you talk all day to friends and new friends and such like that. Literally, I was on the phone at 10:30 last night, and Tammy's like, "Are you sick?" I'm like, "No, I lost my voice."
I was making sure we were framed. I didn't even check things, Jimmy. Do we even have audio
Well,
testing? I'm just kidding.
this is a well-oiled machine.
We are.
A
We're 3 days
well-oiled.
into it. I feel like I'm 10 days into Orlando. Still on the fence whether I'm staying or not. I should probably check into that.
You.
I feel like I'm leaving Thursday night,
Well,
which is tomorrow. We're in day 3, live from the quiet exhibit hall.
enjoy it while it's here because it will be a madhouse for the next till 6 o'clock tonight. I think 6:30.
Does it shut down? The hall shut down tonight?
Yes, sir.
Or do we come back in the morning?
Ooh.
I don't know. TBD on that.
Yeah.
So we don't know. And then, as we've talked about plenty of times, Thursday's kind of the field trip day for a lot of folks, and
Huge networking night too.
I don't know how that's going to play out with me if I fly out tomorrow. So that may be on you, Jimmy.
That's
We'll
fine.
see what Jimmy comes up with on his Motorola flip phone.
Well, James and I say this all the time, that when we go to events and conferences, we're the first to arrive and the last to leave. And that doesn't necessarily mean us specifically, but us as an entity or a team.
Yeah,
so
like I had to come 3 days early.
So he came early, and if I run all the way to the very 12th hour, so to speak, that's fine. That's what we do.
Jimmy's local here, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
makes the most sense for us, and I can get back to the family. So we'll work it out,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
But either way, we're going to be capturing some more today. A lot of interviews already lined up for today. We hope to get some different folks from CGA on, hopefully today,
We
to
will.
talk about the event.
Yep.
I mean, I had a blast yesterday. I looked at you at one point when we were out there for the grand opening, and I was like, man, this is my kind of jam.
This is to talk about a well-oiled machine. This is from A to Z, and remember we mentioned just some of the little detail that you don't even notice that took like 7 hours to do. CGA is running an incredible machine here, and it is a machine.
The AV here has been awesome. I mean, like the little elements, they've got those big LCD or LED screens. I don't know what the LCD. They have some cool tech everywhere, and they're using those in the hall and on the stages to show data and information in a new way.
Do we get shots of that?
Pockets of what?
The LED screens?
Yeah, I've got them somewhere on my phone.
Okay, just some
folder somewhere.
I was enamored because it looks almost like a old-fashioned, high tech. But remember the old stand-up mirrors that you used to put in your bedrooms or whatever? They'd be 6 feet tall, this wide, but it looks like a TV set now. And all of a sudden, you can either group them together or put them separately, and these graphics, and it's just like I'm like. Very good.
Yeah, it's so cool. So kudos to CGA. Chrisanne and her group has been
fantastic.
Great hosts. We're right here in their booth, just crashing the party. They put up a gym all week. They didn't even get paid for that.
They might need counseling, is what they might need.
Jimmy, I think we have to address the elephant in the room.
Oh,
I told you I was in conference shape. And that's that we're wearing a different shirt today. And no, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I'm shaking already because it's not a white shirt, but that's okay. I'm embracing it.
A little bit of the uniform, right? But last night, we had our good friends, Jay Stevens and Carolyn Barless from Damage Prevention Academy come in from Canada and met up with us. And last night we recorded a special episode that we are sharing as we speak, right? As we record this publicly, of the acquisition of Damage Prevention Academy. So we're proud. We're all DPA today.
We are.
And Jimmy, I think it's only fitting, as we have been asking people over and over so far, and we will today throughout this show, is, how are we going to move that needle? As MG said, we're all talking about needles. But how do we move the needle when it comes to the 50 and 5.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was almost an aha moment for all of us last night. I think that we realized that this is our commitment to that.
I would absolutely agree. And when you look at Energy World now, we talk about us being in the industry for 30 years, 3 decades, and starting off with education training,
Before there was OQ.
Before, yeah,
Everybody
we're
goes,
talking.
"Oh, y'all been doing OQ for 30 years." And you're like, "No, there wasn't OQ for 30
No,
years."
there wasn't. We've been doing
Maybe half of it.
We've been wanting to make the world a safer place to work for 3 decades, and we want safety and we want best practices in our industry. And really, when you think of the acquisition of Damage Prevention Academy, it really goes to show the heart and the spirit of the core of Energy World Net, that we want to do that, and we're not just walking the talk, we're living it, and we're getting deeper and deeper into embracing this this community right here. There's over 1,000 people here, and the when you just hear the commitment in people's voices to try to make things safer and better and reduce damages and let the practices help people do it right. So
it's such a great group. Feels at home here.
Oh, it does.
I mean, it really does. I've met so many people, and it's easy to talk to these folks because they're used to talking to people about that. It's a big part of damage prevention, obviously, is awareness. We've talked about that ourselves. This is a commitment we give too. A neat day for us.
One of our Louisiana regulators, good friend Steven.
No big deal.
Just came in.
But big day for us, long time coming.
Yeah.
Big day for DPA.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll have Jay and Carolyn on a little bit later to talk about it. I mean, it's only fitting. But yeah, we're talking around. And how about that double down with Steve Allen?
Oh.
So if you don't know, we've also, look, I know sometimes when people think about acquisition, they think, oh, you're just, you can write your check into anywhere type of thing. But I want people to understand really the synergy with this group and how committed we are to what we're doing. And so to show that commitment, we've kind of doubled down and we put our own Steve Allen, our Executive Director of Pipeline Safety at Energy World Net, as Senior Advisor to Damage Prevention Academy. And I was with that group last night, the full group.
Yeah.
And they were like school kids on the first day. I mean, really, they've waited so long to tell all their friends, right? Yeah. We've all been living by these NDAs and being nice. And today's a big day for all of us. So today we're DPA, my friend.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. And I'm just, it's going to be, I think the joy for me, and that I love journeys, and I talk about journeys all the time. I'm excited to watch the journey of DPA, EWN, and the melding and the synergies and coming together and, understanding each other's strengths and helping each other, and then taking that to the, to the industries, where it'll be welcomed and it'll be exciting, James.
Yeah, already great response. Man, we got all day today to talk to folks.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse today. Let's get to
You did a good job, though, brother. He has a lot of passion in this. He has a lot of passion.
It's a big day. All right. Hey, we'll be back. That was a highlight there, Jimmy.
I just can't. I mean,
you never know what joy you're going to bring to someone's life.
The interaction.
Until you get there. Right. And it looks different in every person.
And the joy that Adam just had doing that was like, it was inspirational. That's not taking away from
new fast friends.
I'm telling you what.
Just like that. Steve, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Great to meet you. Great
to
see you guys.
Very quickly introduce yourself, who you're with.
Hey, I'm Steve Mumm from GPRS.
Awesome. A little bit about GPRS. Let us know what you guys do.
Yeah, we're a mapping and modeling company. We do private locating, but then also deploy other sensors and location equipment to put together a customer deliverable. So they know what's underground.
Okay.
Completely under their facility.
Completely.
This often happens in the private space. So we're adjacent to the folks here this week that work mostly in the public right away.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. Gotcha. So if I have a yard that has a whole bunch of LNG tankers in it, I own that yard, but I want to do something, I would bring you folks in and you guys would take care of me, show me where everything is.
Any kind of construction, a 40-story building, a wind turbine, a gas compressor station, we help them understand better so that they can plan and
Large facilities.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Worldwide, globally, United States, North America.
we're across the nation. We're in every major metropolitan area in the U.S.
Outstanding.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
First CGA, have you been here before?
I've been attending for about 2 years.
Okay.
And
Were you in Anaheim last year?
yes,
I was too. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed you. Oh.
it's always a good one for us because I believe that the data of the public and private space are going to come together in the short term, and we want to help guide that. We've been collecting data for the last 5 years and are getting pretty good at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we learn a lot from everyone at CGA, and we think we can bring a couple best practices as
You
well.
know, I'm going to hook them up with
Oh, I do.
Monique Roberts at
Absolutely.
Pods, right?
Absolutely.
No doubt
I
about
don't know
it.
if you
So
know
when
her
we
yet,
leave,
but
we're going to do that.
you're gonna-
Monique, get ready.
Yeah, get ready.
Sending some folks.
At CGA this year, a big topic has been 50 and 5, reducing damage incidents by 50% in 5 years.
Yep.
Thoughts on that? Attainable? It's a lofty goal. I'll tell you, it's a
Big,
lofty
hairy,
goal.
audacious goal. Yeah.
But what do you think are some steps that can help to achieve that? We have to have a goal, so let's
What do
get
we
us
gotta do
on
to
the
get
right
there?
path.
No, I like big goals because I think that's
No
the
doubt.
way that we start moving. We take one step forward, and that's the way that we get there. Big goal drives us. And you know what I was just talking about, that mapping of the public and private space, that's going to be critical in this journey to really drive the number down. That's a step that allows us to work better together. So it's about communication, but then it's also about harnessing technology and driving the possible.
You're speaking his
That's
love
my
language.
love language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
We'll
loves it.
talk data later.
Great to meet you.
Steve,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for the work
stopping
you do
by.
in this space. And man, we'll have to have you back on, talk about some more data stuff, some technology. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
We'll leave Jim out.
I'll be out on that one. You guys can have fun.
All right. Hey, we'll be
see ya.
back. Still buzzing here, Jimmy.
Oh, nonstop, Mr. Cross, nonstop, and I love it. Our new friend Jemmie Wang has just
We've
stopped
heard
by.
Jemmie Wang's name already at least once or twice today. I hope it was good.
Podcast infamous.
Well, you're CGA, infamous or
CGA
famous.
infamous, yeah.
It has come
We're
up.
both.
Jimmy, please introduce yourself and tell them the organization that you're with.
Yeah, Jemmie Wang with the AcretivPartners. We're a management consulting company, both inside and outside the damage prevention space.
How long have you been involved in the CGA?
In the CGA, almost 20 years. Almost 20
Oh,
years.
wow.
Yeah,
See, I knew he was about to hit
I'm
us
old
with
timer.
something.
I just look young because of my Asian background.
Oh, okay.
I'm really like 80 years old.
So is Jimmy. Oh,
Yeah, but I look it.
oh,
No, he's 25.
yes.
Yeah, right. And I look like
Divided
I'm 80.
by, no.
Jeez, you know, friends like you guys.
All right. You know, it's like Jim, coffee with Jim and Jim and James. And I don't know.
Jim,
We'll have to
James,
workshop
and
You're
Jimmy.
that.
confusing yourself. We're
Yeah,
confusing.
we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back on track here.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know about 50 and 5. How are we gonna get there, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think it's I've been saying it's a great aspirational goal, and I hope we get there. And I think the fundamental thing to get there is we have to do things differently than what we've been doing. And that doesn't necessarily mean what we've been doing has not been working. And in fact, in some ways, it means what we've been doing has been working well to get us to this point. So to get us to the next level, we need to do some things differently. And I'll give two specific examples. I was listening to a Freakonomics podcast talking about how airline safety got to be so safe. Right now, it's about 800 times safer per mile than driving. When you drive 5 or 10 miles to the airport to take your flight, you're more likely to die in a car accident driving to the airport than in your flight. So the two key things that really took them there was one, really leveraging technology, data and technology in the planes and elsewhere, right? There's tons of sensors and analysis of that data if there's even a near miss.
Yep.
The second is extensive transparent sharing of safety data between the airlines who are competitors and between the airlines and FAA. And I will say this, we got to be honest with ourselves. We don't do those two things in this industry enough.
Not enough.
But
we don't do it.
But we're not starting, but
Yeah,
we're
doing more of it.
And CGA is an example of that
Yeah.
because I see a lot of the
CGI,
walls
yeah.
being down here,
Yes,
where
yes.
people are cross collaborating, knowledge sharing.
Yes.
Okay.
But we need to do more of it, and we need to challenge ourselves to do more of it. And the industry, because you have a lot of frenemies here, right? They're friends when they're here and they're eating dinner and stuff, but they're kind of competitors, enemies also. So they're they hold their data close to their chest, and sometimes for legitimate reasons, but a lot of times sharing the data doesn't harm their business. And I think it's just a change in mentality. I think we need to challenge ourselves to do that in order to achieve the 50 and 5.
Man,
Ready?
from
You ready to take that challenge?
Jimmy knows his stuff.
I'm dropping the gauntlet here. So
Jimmy, are you on LinkedIn?
yeah,
All right.
Hook up with Jimmy.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
thanks guys.
Steve, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Sent over by our good friend.
Ryan White. Yep.
We tell everybody when they come on, just FYI, we didn't tell you this part till you came on, but when you leave here, you got to go find somebody else.
So that's why Ryan hunted me down.
He thought you were an easy
You
pick.
thought you were cool, huh? No, we
there's-
requested you.
There's been no redhead in the history of history that's ever been cool. So
Wow, today's the day.
Today, yeah, it's
Steve, I'm sorry for those that don't know you. Please introduce yourself to our audience and who you're with.
my name's Steve Cleaver. I'm the damager.
Damager, that's the whole wrong show.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the manager of PG&E Pacific Gas and Electric's damage prevention and compliance
I
team.
like.
Okay.
I like. How could
Damager?
we make a manager?
The man.
We're going to workshop that.
Well, please
Stick
like
around.
T-shirts, stickers,
We'll
stuff like
start
that.
there.
Would be a good little t-shirt.
PG&E, I've heard about that.
You know those folks.
That
We know those
operation.
folks.
No, that's great. We're at CGA. Have you ever been to a CGA before, my friend?
I have.
Were you
Seemed
in
like
Anaheim
somebody
last
had been
year?
there.
I was in Anaheim in 2016. My first one I was able to present on our 811 ambassador program in Vegas.
Okay. Okay.
Then attended Tampa. Was scheduled for Palm Springs before it was canceled.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
had an opportunity to come to a few of them.
Well,
This is my first one. Any
first.
tips for me?
Like,
And now that it's almost over, I
happy
wish
to
I
be
could
a part
run
of
it.
your first.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome seeing all the knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
We talk about it in the pipeline industry and the natural gas side a lot. There's some events you go to and sessions kind of turn into, hey, I've got this friend with a pipeline, and it's great sessions, right? Where people are really, to the point that we can be vulnerable and getting, lessons learned out there. It's great to see that stuff in action here.
I think it's
CGA has
robust.
been awesome.
Yeah, absolutely
for us.
robust here. One of the things that Sarah brought up yesterday was the goal of 50 and 5. So 50% reduction in damage incidents in 5 years. Everybody says it's a lofty goal, but it's a goal. And your thoughts on that, and what can we help do to move the needle to achieve that 50 and 5?
I think setting a goal is super important, regardless of what it is. And if we set aggressive goals for ourselves, we have something to shoot for. I can tell you that we have set some pretty aggressive goals for ourselves where I come from. And we've achieved things that we didn't think were going to be possible by setting those goals for ourselves. Last year, we had a target of less than 1 for our damages per 1,000 tickets. And I'm like, there's no way that, like last year we hit 0.98 and there's no way that we're going to hit that again. We couldn't possibly do that. And we walked away from the end of the year at 0.94.
Wow.
And a reduction of 154 damages from the previous year. I
huge.
kept telling people, I'm like, hey, these things are going to come up and they're going to hit us at the end of the year. We're going to have this influx of work. And I was kind of the negative Nelly of the group saying, hey, we need to temper our expectations. But at the end of the year, it was fantastic. The beginning of this year, there's no way that we can achieve what we did last year. It was getting the best fuel mileage I've ever gotten in my car in the best conditions ever. We can't do that again. We're down 127 damages this point in the year.
Okay,
awesome.
let's real quick. Let's share. What is the secret sauce? What are you doing? Is it just slowing down? Is it technology?
Is it a scoreboard? Like having that goal that everyone is laser focused on?
So the answer to all of those is yes.
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
So visual management, knowing where we're at, knowing what our target is, knowing whether or not what our RAG status is against our target. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows where we're at. Everybody knows how we're performing. Have daily huddles that we talk about our performance, what worked well yesterday, what didn't work well, what are we going to do differently today, next week.
I love
It's
that.
a mixture. It's a
has
blend
been-
of all of it.
Has been hugely helpful. In 2015, when I came on, it was to start our dig and reduction team. We call it our DIRT team. And we investigate 100% of our damages to gas and electric. And we do a causal evaluation. And then we share lessons learned with the involved parties. If it was an at-fault damage, something that we failed to locate properly, we have a weekly call scheduled on the books. We can cancel it, but we have a weekly call. What happened last week? What damages did we have that were our fault? What should we have done differently?
Working on the right stuff.
We
Yeah.
trend that data to know, should we have caught this? Should we have done something differently? Is it a gap in our training? What should we be? So from an at-fault damage perspective, we're constantly looking at how can we get better? What changes can we make to get better? From our, we do primarily in-house locates, but for our vendors that locate for us to help us with staff aug, we hold them accountable for quality. We hold them accountable for mismarks. And we've built a relationship with them. We've actually provided training. These are our assets. We know them better than anybody.
That's awesome.
Instead of just saying, hey, come locate this for us, we have a training module, come to our training. They're invested, they pay for the training. They put their people through it. So having mutual investment for all of this has been super helpful. Like, there's so many things that I'm so proud of that we're doing.
Save it.
Yeah, this
Because
is a
this
full
sounds
episode.
like I mean, really.
No, it really does. There's best
we
practices,
really wanna dive
knowledge
into this
sharing. I
more.
mean, all of my key triggers. We're gonna have you on for a full episode.
Really?
The industry needs this. The industry.
If you'll allow us, Steve.
Yeah.
This is your invite.
So sometimes when you talk to people, you can tell that they go through the motions because this is my job. This is what I do. I landed into this spot. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of the same way to an extent. Started off in law enforcement when I was 21 and then made this switch at 36 after 15 years. I came here and I have a sense of public service and like we're still having an impact on public safety. Like, it's like really, really fun what I do and I love it. I'm passionate about it. And coming here with like-minded people to talk about this stuff, what we're doing, lessons that we've learned. I just had the opportunity to present at a session here.
Awesome.
And the conversations that I'm having in the hallway afterwards about, hey, how did you guys do that? Will you come out and talk to our folks? Like, this stuff's important to be able to share lessons learned and not do it, not have this closed loop, but to be able to go out and
Give it all away.
and I get something from it every single time. There is somebody that says, I can do, like, we've been doing this, and I'm like, you know what? I hadn't thought about that. We can integrate that.
Well, okay, I got to ask a question. What do you said you get something, and that hit a little chord in my heart because every time that I give a presentation or I'm out or whatever it is, I get something too. When I see somebody's face go, oh, I get it. Is that what you get? Is that your getting back to you? What drives you?
So yes and no.
Okay.
I think it's twofold. Yes, I love seeing that spark in somebody that says, my people need this story too. It's more than just me. And I don't know that I can deliver this same message about why we do what we do or why we've made some of the changes. Because sometimes our frontline folks feel like we make changes for the sake of making changes.
Sure. Yeah.
But if they can give the why to their teams and I can help them give that why and why we do it, that changes behavior on the field. And that's what I get from it. The other part is, have you heard the term an extroverted introvert? It's somebody who's an introvert by nature, but they can flip the switch. I get to have.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, I've heard of it.
These times create the opportunities for me to flip that switch
Fun.
and have that fun and engagement with people. And then I can't tell you how many text messages I've sent during sessions to my counterparts to go, we need to talk about this when we get home.
Check out this slide. Yeah,
Some
we'll
of
talk
that-
about it Monday.
Some of that, but some of the things that they talk about aren't necessarily on the
It's a
slides.
story.
It's just a little nugget. And I'll give you an example of one of those. It was, we were talking about like the why on no 811 damages. Like, we know that they happen. We know that they didn't get a ticket, but why didn't they get a ticket? That's part of the stuff that we collect as a team during our damage investigations. But there's more to it. And I'm like, we need to build a survey that's individual to the people that we contact about why they didn't call in a ticket. Like, create some smart workflows that's not a mass email like, hey, why didn't you do it? But for a person. And even if we get 50% return rate on those surveys, that's 50% more information,
Sure.
detailed information. So that's just one little thing. I'm like, how can we do it? that may not be the best execution, but it's the ideas and the conversation about how can we build on that. And I get that kind of stuff from you.
That's awesome. So literal takeaways you can go home, plug into your teams, and make a difference. I love
Absolutely.
it. Man, we could talk all day, Steve. Thank you so much for stopping
No,
by.
thank you for the opportunity,
brother.
I invite
Appreciate
you to come back on,
Really
and we'll
appreciate you and what you're doing.
full episode. We'll have like 30, 40 minutes. You weren't joking. We needed that much. I love it. Hey, we'll be back.
See you in a bit. All right, James.
We're back.
As you can see behind us, things are heating up. We actually had a session come out. Dr. Paul came by, said he had some fascinating information about the fiber optic technology that can be used to prevent damages, and we said we got to have you on. So, Dr. Paul, would you please introduce yourself? And I say that because he is a PhD, and so
don't ask any medical questions, please.
I told him about my sciatic nerve, and he said, "Nope,
That ain't a sciatic, my friend."
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah,
and your
so
organization.
I'm Paul Dickinson. I'm the chairman of the board of the Fiber Optic Sensing Association. We're a nonprofit formed out of Washington, D.C. in 2017. And we have a large variety of member companies, over 20-something member companies. And we're all about creating awareness and education for a technology that we're excited about here at CGA that we believe is going to benefit tremendously the utility industry.
Okay. Let's talk about CGA just real quick. Is this your first CGA, Paul?
My first annual meeting, but I've been at the technology committee meetings this past year, and I've been talking to their leadership now for about a year and a half.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lots to learn here. Lots of great folks. I don't know how much you've been able to interact.
I love the sessions. They're fantastic. I've learned so much. Best practices committee, the one call committee, all fantastic stuff. It's been very impressive.
And you spoke this week or today,
I'm
wasn't it?
actually speaking
Or
on
tomorrow,
Thursday at 11:15, and we're hosting a panel session from our nonprofit organization, Fiber Optic Sensing, otherwise called FOSA, where we're bringing 3 member companies. There are 4 actually who are exhibiting here with the same technology, and we're showing use cases for gas and electric, so can people understand how the technology works.
Okay, let me jump in here because Paul, I know
where you're going with this.
Yeah, we could spend a lot. It's fascinating technology. So what I would like to do, can you give the audience a sneak peek into this technology and what it does, and then let's give them an action item because there's so much to learn about this technology, and it's in place right now in a lot of places that they can utilize this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more time than I have here to explain in detail, so I'll give you the link where you can check it out after the fact. But the bottom line is that right-of-ways right now, in many cases, already have optical fiber in them, with the gas utilities, electric utilities, water, and such. And so there exists right now the capability to proactively monitor and protect your right-of-ways in a live way that's never been done before. So the reason I get excited about this is that CGA has a wonderful program with the 811 ticketing system, getting the adherence, and they have this new program, the 5 for 50 program, where they're trying to reduce the damages by 50% in 5 years. So I came here, and I've been talking to CGA for a while about this. Super excited, because I think this could be a missing link with respect to the toolkit that they have, so that they can actually reduce the damages by proactively monitoring for damages before they occur.
So again, using the existing optical fibers that are in the ground already as a medium to understand when digging is happening around there.
Yeah, the way the technology works in a nutshell is the same way that technology works for Broadcom and Datacom, telecom communication, except you're not using the fiber to transmit data anymore. You're using it and creating a long, continuous, essentially like a microphone under the ground. And so that fiber is so sensitive under the ground when you're putting these laser pulses in it and monitoring with the software. You can detect when an excavator is hitting the ground above it, when someone's sliding open a manhole. You can even detect when people are walking across or cars are driving by soon. Wow. So the magic that enables you to do is coupled with the 811 system, where you can identify where you have tickets and where you don't. Either a utility operator or one call center operator could basically say, wow, I have activity going on over here. I don't have an 811 ticket. I'm going to try to stop it and stop the damage before it happens.
Whoa, what's happening?
Thus proactive. Okay, how can folks get a hold of you and or this technology? See it.
So to learn more, find me on LinkedIn, Paul Dickinson. I'd be happy to speak to you personally and correspond my email. And it may be even better yet, go to our organization, fiberopticsensing.org. It's a Fiber Optic Sensing Association where you can learn more about the organization. There's lots of videos, training materials on there. And if you're a gas or electric utility or a water utility, You need to hear about this. So
Yep.
pleasure speaking with you today.
Hey, you reach out to us, we'll get you in contact. Worst case.
Absolutely.
Paul, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for
That
bringing
sounds
this to us.
awesome, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
what you're doing for the industry.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
Yep.
we'll be back. That was the best part of my lunch was the mustard.
I'm so upset I didn't
I
get
was
back.
so upset for the pickles though, because they were done better.
As opposed to what, spicy?
Yeah.
Deal.
Or
Or
like the when
Deal.
they got the good crunch.
Or dill.
Like the
So
last crunch.
me and my wife have a garden, and we pickle everything. And man, like we eat our own pickles year round because we make so much.
Yeah.
And they're so good, and so like my big pickle snob now.
Yeah, you're going to be.
Yeah, you do.
That makes
So
sense.
do you make
This-
those out of cucumbers?
Yeah.
They're legit.
Yeah, we
Like little baby cucumbers?
like we have different types, but yeah, absolutely kosher deals. This isn't what the show's about, though.
It can be.
I mean, it is right now.
Yeah.
Well, we met Laura the other morning talking about overnight oatmeal.
I talked about you earlier, and mentioned all those things. I recalled it all.
Yeah.
Who came on?
Eric.
Your colleague. Oh, yeah. We
Eric
talked
did.
about that.
We met Eric and we're like, wait a minute, do you know Laura? He's like, well, yeah. So then we connected the dots. And we're like, we have to have Laura back on.
Laura, tell
All right.
everybody who you are and who
Please.
you're with.
Yeah, I'm Laura Arnold. I'm with Miss Stig 811, not to be confused with Mississippi. We're actually out of Michigan, hence the Midwestern
Can you
accent.
break that down? Because
Yeah.
really, we talked about this the other day, Jimmy and I, after we met you at breakfast, and it was like, I'm really confused.
Yeah.
And so break down Miss Dig for us.
So Mystic is actually the first notification center in the U.S.
Okay.
We started in 1970. It was just a small group. Not me personally. Obviously, I'm
Sorry.
I'm
You're
much too young to have been working in
Of course.
1970. But in 1970, a small group of utilities in the Metro Detroit area got together and formed Mystic. Back then, when you would hit a line, you'd say, "Oh, I miss Doug." So it's where the term comes from, and
Gotcha.
it was actually part of our first phone number.
So I thought that I was crazy. I went back and then I started Googling. I was like, I've been liking posts and doing things and thinking it was Mississippi the whole time.
And it was
then when I met
Michigan.
you, and then I was like, no, I think I misheard her. And then I saw Michigan again. And so anyway, that clears up a lot for me.
We're better now. We're
I
better.
can't be the only one, right?
Probably not. No.
How many times have you been to CGA?
4 or 5?
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were in Anaheim last year. We talked about that. And then you probably missed a little bit during COVID, but we're
During COVID
Yep.
and during just some transitions within my organization, right? Depending on your role and what you're working on.
Okay.
Yep.
Laura, at the CGA, a conversation, a goal, a topic has come up about 50 and 5.
Yeah.
Reducing damage incidents by 50% in 5 years. Your thoughts on that? Is it a lofty goal? Can we attain that, or can we at least move the needle in that right direction?
How are we going to get there?
How are we going to get there? I think to have a true goal, it's got to be something worth achieving. And oftentimes when you set things to just be mediocre, that's all you're ever going to achieve. So while it might very well be a lofty goal, we're in a position to achieve it. Technology, I mean, we've talked in these sessions about AI and how much it's come from just being really algorithms 2 years ago to true AI today. How are we able to employ that? We don't know that yet. But over the next 5 years, we're probably going to figure it out. I sat in a session earlier today specifically around the design process. How can we take that design process to cultivate better dig tickets, to provide information around who's digging and when, and all these benefits that go along with that? And I think we're kind of turning the page here where we're at a point to revisit some of these things. So 2017-ish, Mystig tried to roll out a program to do this. So the intent wasn't just from a design ticket facility owner to excavator or designer, it was designers able to communicate. I'm starting to design something. Who else is planning stuff in that same area or at that same time? What facilities are in that area or potentially planning projects? How can we reduce opening roads? And there was a lot of hype around it, but people weren't in a position yet to buy in. But we've had so much grant funding, our maps have increased, quality of data has increased. They're in a much better position to share that information and collaborate on it.
That's how we're going to get there.
That's how we're a little bit from everywhere.
We went from talking about El Salvador on what, Monday?
Yeah,
And pupusas?
pupusas.
Pupusas and overnight
To
oatmeal.
conquering 50 and 5 by Wednesday.
Go like this.
Take
That's
it.
quite the progression, my friend. I love it.
Maybe we can take it down to El Salvador and help them with their underground infrastructure when
I'll
we're
tell
done.
you what, if we don't come back to CGA next year and you don't show up with a bunch of pupusas,
We're going to
then
be
we're not.
disappointed.
Yep,
Disappointed.
yep. Hey,
We're not
thank you
friends.
for all you do.
Thank
We
you.
all
are
the work
great
y'all
friends.
do.
Thank you
at
for all
Miss
you do.
Dig.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
hey, we'll be back.
We are coming back with one of our
Hey,
dear
we're
friends.
having really good mic etiquette.
Yes,
Just for
we're-
Clinton. Clinton's our Spencer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have good
Clinton
mic
wants
etiquette.
people. Okay.
To talk close to the mic
Yeah.
like this and not to
There's
move.
only a few people you can talk. Just
Welcome
just
to the
freely
show.
with.
Yeah.
Nick
I
is
move?
One of them.
You're in a safe space with me.
I
Well,
like
we're
that.
always in a safe space with you
So
because you're
listen,
a long-term friend.
We're live at CGA, but really we had Nick on because we're going to talk about barbecue for
Let's
a few
talk
minutes.
some barbecue.
So we just need some input from the industry on whether we, us three, including one other friend of ours,
Who?
that-
Matt?
Matt Porchatsky.
From, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt.
From
You know
Minnesota.
you're, no, Wisconsin.
Oh,
He's
man,
a
I'm
Scotty
sorry, buddy.
boy. He's a Scotty boy.
He's our big green egg guy.
Yeah.
And he wants us to join. He wants us to create a super team of big green egg champions
Yeah.
to go to Atlanta and whoop everybody's butt
Are
on
you
the
in?
amateur circuit.
I'm so in.
The
I'm so in.
Eggtoberfest.
Yeah.
So we're gonna workshop that for October. Let us know what you think.
Love it.
Is that it?
Hey man, it was good seeing you. Nick, how's it going,
I'm like,
man?
what is happening here?
Oh, we're doing that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
in.
That's what I came
It's
for.
going really well.
This is
it's
your
been
world, man.
This is my world. This is my Super Bowl, as we say.
How many years have you been coming here?
This is my 10th.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Started
It's
when
been
he was
fantastic.
10.
Yeah.
He
What?
started when he was 10.
This has been a it's been a great
Help
event. Had a lot of fun. The show floor has been fantastic. So happy to be here, and I love talking barbecue. So when we do,
Yeah, let's talk about
get
that
back to
some
the
more.
barbecue
Yeah, that's
for a
what's
second.
important.
When we do the barbecue thing, I think what I really want to focus on is my mesquite smoked tri-tip tacos.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have a taco trio, I think. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm doing barbacoa. There's
You
no
are.
doubt. And my
Okay.
wife said she wants to do slaw for it.
Ooh.
So when
So
I do the
I think
hot
we have, like,
dogs, do I
several little
turn
bites.
on hot dogs?
Get the grill marks on them. I'm with you, dude. Tell us more about those tacos.
So
Tri-tip. That's
Yeah,
that's a West Coast thing.
Okay.
Like
It's
the
a
further
Texas
you go,
thing.
that's I
Yeah.
know, but brisket.
and mesquite is kind of a Texas thing too, but the tri-tip takes the mesquite smoke really, really well. And the key with that is the tri-tip, as compared to your barbacoa, I'm sure, which is pretty juicy and wet. The tri-tip can get a little dry, so it's really important to have a good coleslaw like you're talking about. So
See what I mean?
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Right.
So what are you gonna cook?
I'm
What's
gonna
your
go talk
bite?
to what?
3 bites.
yeah,
What,
It
what
can't
do
be
I want
hot
to
dog
cook?
bites.
I'm
What
gonna
would you
cook. I'm gonna cook ribs.
Remember, you gotta do it on the egg.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that's all. I got an egg. Tammy
Yeah,
bought me an
gets a-
egg for
everyone
Father's
gets
Day
one
last
rib.
year, and the thing that I've done and done well are ribs. So I'm gonna do baby back ribs.
ooh,
Okay.
good.
You're so basic.
I'm gonna
I
say
love
something.
it,
I'm
though.
gonna say something right now that in the natural gas industry, you're gonna know this name. The best ribs I've ever had in my life, made by Vinnie Vickers.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Of course
Center
we know
Point.
Vinny Vickers.
Yeah.
Summit,
Arkansas.
Summit.
Or Summit now. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Summit now. Yeah.
I
Out
used
of
to go
Arkansas.
down and help with the Arkansas Gas Association annual meeting, and he invited me down, and they have all these trailers, and they're
of
smoking
course.
barbecue like you wouldn't believe. And
I bet I ate it last year at Oklahoma Gas Association's annual. They do it. You
Yeah.
should come
On
to
the-
that. They
on
do
the
a barbecue
parking lot.
cook-off in it, and
That's
one
awesome.
of the teams is Centerpoint. And one of them Summit, and I mean that. Well, it was
Yeah,
Centerpoint.
was
I'm
Centerpoint,
sorry.
now
Sorry,
Summit.
everybody.
We got
know,
it. We're good.
We know how the industry works.
best rib I ever had. Right, there you go.
Okay.
Vinnie
Good.
Vickers. Yeah.
So are you like a fall off the bones rib? Like,
Okay.
competition, they say
I-
it shouldn't. You should be able to tear. Like,
I'm not perfecting it. I'm still an amateur. I did it one time. They were so overdone that I
just
picked them
pulled
up
the-
and they fell apart.
Yeah.
So the next time
and
I
they were
I
fantastic, though, weren't
they were delicious.
Like everybody
but
goes, oh, I would never do that. And you're
I
like,
I toned it back to where the point they're still being held in place.
nice.
So, and I do know how to remove the silver membrane. So
Nice.
I might have allegedly forgot that the first time or didn't realize that.
There's a lot of people that talk about cooking ribs in crock pots. Don't talk to me about cooking your ribs in a crock pot.
We're not the same.
Yeah, if it's not cooked on a big green egg,
And
I don't want to hear about
in
it.
another episode, now I'm going to tell you how I tried a pizza one time and an epic fail.
Oh,
another
man.
episode.
We've all done that.
Oh, yeah.
We
Epic
all
fail.
did pizzas
That's
the
easy
first
to
time
screw
and
up.
then took it out of
Hey,
the...
let me ask y'all a
Yeah.
question.
Boom.
Actually, I'm going to ask you a couple of
Do it.
questions.
Let's go.
Please.
First question.
I mean,
how
why
has
not?
this conference been for y'all?
I'll say fantastic for many different reasons. One, I think for us living in the OQ world and the State Gas Association world for so long, this has really opened up our eyes to really the extent of where the damage prevention community, as I'll call it, is reaching. And so we're looking and talking to people with telecom, with fiber, with power, everything. I think that's
all
great.
the stakeholders, right?
Every stakeholder.
So this is my first one, which is kind of weird. And a lot of people are like, really? And you're like,
Yeah,
all right, man, I
it
just
is.
got here, remember? But I know you're thinking back, but I really haven't.
Okay.
So I didn't really have expectations for the event other than what I knew by Jim and other people. I knew it would be large. I knew they took it serious.
Yeah.
I think for me, the biggest part is the community itself.
Yeah.
I've been at Damage. I've seen you at plenty of events. We go to the summits and stuff, but they're more regional or state specific, right? So seeing the collective together, like damage prevention, I told you this earlier, damage prevention makes sense to me, right? I can just inverse the words and they make sense, right? It doesn't take a lot for me to understand why it's important. But seeing so many people passionate about it together and not like, we compete a lot in natural gas. That's the truth. We do. But to see so many people chasing the exact same thing at the end of the day is spectacular to me because that's what we're driving for, whether it's in our orgs or with our people or our inner circles or whatever. Like, we're trying to get that synergy. And I know there's still people that are guarded and whatnot, but this group gets it.
They
and
get
that,
it.
you
Absolutely
can't
get it.
replace
The walls are down. The wall,
Period.
not all the way down, but a lot of the walls are down.
And I love natural gas. I love all of you. Know that. I'm a champion. But we're not as open as damage prevention as a whole, as in my opinion. And I know that we're part of that.
Yeah.
But I just mean, I see the sessions here, and we joked about it with several people, is that we always talk about a friend with a pipeline.
Yeah.
You have to go into that mode to be able to talk in our industry. Where here, we're out there, lessons learned, everything's out there. I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's my jam.
I feel you. I was scrolling through their app today, looking at all the sessions, and every one of these sessions looked really good. I was like, man, all these sessions are
Which one
happening
do
at
I
the
pick?
same time. And it's like, how do you pick the one? Yeah, because there's so many good ones. And that's a great thing. And I've heard a lot of great feedback. Oh, man, learning a lot. All right, I have another question for you guys.
Okay.
I listen to a lot of sports podcasts, Bussing with the Boys, whatever. And they'll say, all right, I'm going to give you 3 choices.
Okay.
Start, bench, and cut.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Okay.
Here we go. All right. Tri-tip. Okay, let's do this. Brisket, pork shoulder, and ribs. If you had to barbecue one, put those in order. Which one are you gonna start? Which one are you gonna cut? Which one are you gonna bench? Go ahead, James.
So pork shoulder was tough for me at first.
Okay.
I don't know why. I could never understand it.
Okay.
And then one day, I think I just was undercooking. It seemed really odd to put something on as long as a brisket.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really realizing how large, especially when you have a bone in it,
Yeah.
and how much that took. And I mean, I'm a thermometer guy. I'm not dumb, but it never made sense.
Yeah.
And here lately, though, not here lately, the last 2 or 3 years, I mean, man, there's almost nothing. That's what I judge barbecue restaurants on. Somebody said it the other day, oh, the burger's the staple or whatever. When I go to a barbecue place, if you can't make a pulled pork sandwich, like anyone can make ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can't make a pulled pork sandwich that you don't put down and go, then I don't want to try anything else.
Yeah.
So for me, that's my starter.
Yeah. Okay, so
Brisket.
you're starting
Yeah. Okay.
pork shoulder.
What's my other 2 options?
Who are you benching and who are you cutting?
Yeah. Cutting in what way? Like eating
So,
it?
no.
Or cutting it up and
So, like,
eating
if
it?
you were playing on a sports team,
Okay.
you got 3 players.
Okay,
You're going to
I
start
got
one,
you.
bench one,
I
cover.
got it. I was just trying to be funny. I would cut the brisket and eat it. No, I would I would bench the brisket
Okay.
because I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
And there's something special
Yes,
about it.
and you're cutting
Even if I
ribs.
chop it up and make it into tacos
Yeah.
for later, it's still the best thing on
Yeah.
the table.
Agreed.
And I hate to say it, but I don't cook enough tri-tip. I would divorce that one.
Okay.
Ribs.
You're
Number
starting
one,
ribs.
Of
just
course
because
you
I'm an
will.
amateur. I
Hey,
love.
I cut ribs, right?
Yeah,
you
you
cut
cut
ribs.
ribs.
You cut ribs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
ribs.
keeping ribs. I'm
You're
keeping-
starting ribs.
I'm
Of course
starting
you will.
ribs.
Yeah.
Starting ribs. I'm going to bench pork,
Okay.
and I'm going to cut brisket just because I don't think I'm there yet.
Ooh, your Texas
I
friends are
can't
not
wait for
going to be
you. I
happy.
already know
with
the
you.
answer. Go ahead, boys.
I am starting brisket. I am
That was
benching
not what I expected.
pork shoulder, and I'm cutting ribs.
Oh, there was 4.
No, there was a 4. There was 3.
There were 4 options or 3?
3.
Okay.
Ribs, pork, and brisket.
All right. I like all those choices. We can hang out.
Okay.
Thank
good.
you, brother.
Good to see you guys.
I need
Thank
a
you.
tri-tip though, that's for sure. After all this banquet food this week,
This
I need
episode
a
of the
break.
Food Network's Barbecue with Nick and James has been
Been
brought
nice
to you
bringing
by
it back.
the Big Green Egg.
Hey, come
Man.
see us in October at Oktoberfest.
We're
Hey,
gonna be
one
there.
before
We'll
you
have a
dig.
booth. Yeah,
I'll be the one doing all the talking. They'll be doing all the
call
cooking.
before you dig in.
Oh, I
See
see
what
what you
I did
did there.
It's not that good.
Thanks,
All right, we'll be back.
I was having a hard time.
Oh, we are live.
Oh, we are?
No, I'm just kidding. We're back here at the CGA with one of our good friends. Where do we see you? At Spring Gas? SGA?
Yep, SGA in Charlotte.
Not too long ago?
Yeah.
Yep,
I assume
2
we'll
weeks.
see you at AG.
Yep, see you in another
Couple
2 weeks.
and then in 2 weeks we'll probably be.
Natural Gas Connect.
Oh,
We
you're
are.
right.
Yeah, we'll see you
Gosh.
there.
Yeah, 2 weeks after that we'll be at APGA and then LGA.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
and then we'll be
Gonna see
back
a lot
here
of each other.
around the horn. Where are we?
Right now, we're in
First
Orlando.
Where
CGA.
are we?
Orlando.
All right, we're back.
All right, please introduce yourselves one at a time. Take
Okay.
turns. I'll do the mic.
Okay, sounds good. Hello, I'm Jordan Ponagilo. I am the marketing manager at Sparus Holdings.
My name is Justin Smith. I'm the compliance manager with United Locating Services.
Oh, I see what's going on here.
Got this. I'm glad you said your last name and not me.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
It's a
think I
tough
could have
one.
made it through. So first CGA, second. How many times y'all been here?
Well, our company has been here probably 8-10 times, but this is my second time.
Okay.
Yeah,
like it?
this is my first time at a CGA.
What do you think?
I mean, it's better now that I'm here. So
It's a lot better when I was back home. Lots of knowledge sharing here. Y'all make it to any sessions today, or have y'all been just here in the hall?
The pool session.
That's okay.
That's an
I did
important
that
session
on
too.
Saturday
That
and
is.
Sunday.
That is.
I came in early and knocked out the pool session.
Explain. Okay, both of you wanted to be on at the same time. Explain that.
Yeah,
Give
break it
a
down
little-
for
yeah.
us.
What are we
So
Let's just
Sparus
skip-
Holdings is the holdings, the umbrella company for 7 different entities. ULS is our one of our newest acquisitions, and they are you tell a little bit about
yep.
ULS.
So
yeah.
they purchased us, I think, back in November.
Yes.
Yep. So we were a new acquisition for them. We're just a utility contract locating company. We work around Texas, Oklahoma, Minnesota. We got stuff working in Cincinnati now with Duke Energy. But we started probably 25 years ago, and the first big contract we got was CenterPoint Energy in Houston. And since then,
Was
we were
that
based
you?
out of.
What
you
year
there?
was it? No, I wasn't. But I was a center point. When you said Texas and then you had Minnesota, I'm like, that's a center point.
Yeah,
contract.
so actually, originally there was a CenterPoint contract in Minnesota, and my dad actually started that and ran that a long time ago. Scott Smith out of Missoula, Montana. Shout out if you ever hear me, Scott. But
Love it.
Call your dad
We're gonna
Scott.
pretend that your dad and you made that deal.
There's a good chance. Never mind.
That's what. That's great. Awesome.
And your dad's a young man, right? I mean, he's very young, right?
sure.
Oh, shut up. All right.
Ouch.
While we're at
He's not feeling any
CGA,
love. Go
At
ahead.
CGA, it's been brought up 50 and 5, right? And everybody's talking about it. How are we going to get there? How are we going to get to 50 and 5? Any ideas?
So we're
So
50% reduction.
that's cutting it in half, right? So I
5
think
years.
what ULS does is we give every technician the true ownership of their locate. So their ticket is theirs, and we actually pay them in a way, and we build our system in a way where they're proud to own their ticket and have responsibility, and it feels like it's really their ownership, not the company's. And that way, they gain a lot of pride to do their job every day, right?
Did you do it well and to do it precise?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve Allen, we were talking, one of our colleagues, Steve Allen, I don't know if y'all know him, state of Indiana, he built that program over there. And back in the day, and he was telling us, he was like, man, locators are some bad dudes. They got the world in their hands, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he ain't lying. I love to see folks here. I've seen so many people that do so much work for our industry. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, see you in a couple weeks.
Sounds
I guess.
great.
We'll
Yeah.
see you at AGA.
Man,
All
thank you,
right.
brother.
Sounds good.
And
Thanks for
then
having me, guys.
And again,
Absolutely.
and again. Yep.
big things at AGA.
Sorry for coming on with her. I know you really wanted to see her the whole time.
No,
so.
no.
We'll see
Okay.
Jordan in 2 weeks. We'll see you in a couple weeks, maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll at least come to another one, and when I see you, I'll stop by.
AGA is a good one. All right, hey, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Into day 3,
Fantastic day, James.
pack day. It was cool to get the announcement out about DPA and finally get to tell all of our friends and to see the excitement in Steve Allen's face
All day long.
this morning.
All
It was
day
like
long.
the first day of school for everyone. And to get to go out and get to tell all of our friends in this industry how excited we were.
We
I
had a
won't be
bevy of
lying.
fun, but Steve Allen was literally bouncing all around the convention center, having conversations. Hey, have you heard? I got some news for you. I got this.
All the new
And he
business
had some.
cards,
He
the
oh he had
shirts,
he
all
ran.
of it.
I think he ran out of business cards today. Steve did.
It was a good day.
Yeah,
We're
it was
kidding.
a fantastic.
Steve's right behind the camera. He's
Yeah.
giggling. No, it was a good day. Man, I don't even know the number of guests we got on this so far. I know that post-production is going to hate us.
Oh, they're gonna.
Because there are a lot. But, I mean, icon after icon, talking to Jemmie Wang earlier.
Yep.
I didn't even know who we were talking with. And he goes, yeah, I've been with this CGA for 20 years.
Yeah, we're like,
before
huh?
there was CGA, and then Dr. Paul.
I can't remember the last name.
Sorry, great initiative there.
Our friend Steve from PG&E today.
Seeing Nick Temple, seeing. I mean, so many.
Yeah,
Go
there are
on
too
and
many
on.
too many to even talk about. But again,
I petted a puppy. I got
yeah.
paid the whole time.
You did. You had a dog in your
I'm
arms
basically
today.
like a sponsored puppy holder. I mean, basically.
James, a takeaway from today: I made every attempt to go to a session, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't break
Really,
away.
we didn't leave.
No, I couldn't
Between
break away.
this and the scholarship stuff, we did record several scholarships today, which
3.
was amazing.
Yep, 3 today.
And
Yep.
so our kitty continues to grow and grow.
And a
We've
quick
got-
shout out to ULC, LineQuest, and our friends at Cortera and Heath Consultants.
Yeah, doubled it down. Man.
Oh, it was
That's
fantastic.
$1,000 in the kitty
Yep.
already just from the show. So we got one more chunk left tomorrow.
We do.
It sounds like. And Jimmy, I hate to say it, but I am flying home tomorrow. I will not be around for everything tomorrow, but I'm going to catch all the major stuff. But I'm not going to get to do any of the fun stuff.
Now we have a huge, as we like to say, knowledge sharing event tomorrow night. CGA does it upright. It's always been the final night, generally from 6 to 10, and that is really kind of where everybody gets together to say goodbye, but also to reconfirm the commitments that are made here. So many people are talking officially and unofficially about things that they're going to do together within the space to make things better, with the initiative of 50 and 5. Reducing damage incidents by 50% in 5 years. So there's so many things.
It was
Tomorrow
neat to
night's
see
gonna
all
be
the answers
Oh, yeah, yeah.
today of that question.
We're going to
and
miss
how
you
we're
tomorrow
gonna-
night, though, just so you know. But well deserved to get home, though.
Yeah,
Well
I'll be
deserved.
happy to get home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
somebody's got to work. So day 4 tomorrow.
Yes.
It's hard to keep count. We'll get up here bright and early. We hope to finish it off with some CGA folks as well, if we're lucky.
Yeah, I
We'll see.
believe that we're already been slated for some of that. I had an inside track today.
Oh, so we'll see. Hopefully we can bring it back. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate you, sir.
Oh, always,
What a
brother.
great day.
Always,
What
brother.
a
Great
day
day.
to be live. And man, I don't have my shirt on anymore, but we were all DPA today.
Well, you know why
All that.
we don't anymore? We sweat through them today.
Steve is. Come on, Steve.
Come on,
Get
brother.
over here.
Get
Show
in
us
here.
that shirt.
Get
Give
in
us
there.
a business card, something. Look, see, we love Steve.
Da-da-da-da.
He's so happy. Look, he's so happy. Woo! Get ready, guys.
He
What did you
reminds
say
me-
last night? Game on.
Yeah.
Game on.
Can we get that on a shirt?
I will pay for it myself. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good night.